Hello, dear lovers in literature. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss a poem by Robert Frost, Dust of Snow. Robert Frost, born in 1874 and died in 1963. हम आज इस कविता के बारे में बात करेंगे, डस्ट ऑफ स्नो बाय रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे कविता का बैकग्राउंड, कविता की थीम, कविता का स्ट्रक्चरल और कविता का मैसेज। आइए हम बात करते हैं रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट की। रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट, द फेमस अमेरिकन पोइट, and he is known for his realistic and rural portrayals and the Renaissance spirit in his literature and especially in poetry part. Very basically, when we come to the poem Dust of Snow, this poem was very first written in 1920 and published in 1923. Later on, anthologized in the collection of poems, and it was published in his new Hampshire in 1924, and poet won Pulitzer Prize for this collection or this anthology. When we come to the poem Dust of Snow and try to take structurally, this poem is a short lyrical composition of two stanzas. Each stanza runs with 4 lines. That's called in poetry the quatrain, means total 8 lines. Very short composition, lyrical composition. And structurally, when we try to operate, as a matter of fact, very first we have to learn structurally the poems. So in the viewpoint of poetry purposes, learning poetry, when we come to structurally to study, then it comes very fast in the eye of the poetry a structural study, that it is divided into 2 parts. 4 lines part means a quatrain, 2 quatrains, and each line of this poem run into iambic trimeter. And as a student of literature, we already have discussed in other videos what does mean tetrameter, what does mean trimeter, what does mean pentameter. And here when we come that iambic trimeter, that means 6 syllable in each line and 3 feet that structurally run T-term, T-term, T-term. That is the structural base. And in a structural base, when we come to take this poem for the rhyming purpose, that means it has A, B, A or B. When we take other lines, second string as line, third one, that means C, D, C and D. In this way, the rhyme runs in this poem. Now, thematical part of this poem is very concretely, in a nutshell, poet wants to say that ordinary incidents, very simple incident, even the simple one, but can change our mood from optimistic to pessimistic and pessimistic to optimistic, as it happens in this poem. Let us come to this poem word to word, line to line, and then you will take the clear cut meaning. हम इसको जब स्टेंजा वाइज बात करेंगे तो हमारे समझ में आएगा। तो लीजिए, सबसे पहले इस कविता में 3 वर्ड ऐसे हैं, एक तो आपका क्रो, दूसरा है आपका हेमलॉक ट्री, और एक और वर्ड है स्नो। ये symbolic words है। These have been presented here, these have been applied here very symbolically. Though the poet a very short one, and in the simple language, very simple daily language, the contemporary era modern as poet is 20th centuries, but it has a deep philosophy. It has a deep meaning, intellectually as well as philosophically. When we come to take the very line, the way of a crow, that means the setting of this poem is that probably poet is in a sad mood, and question arises, why poet is in sad mood? There is no certain reason, logical reason, but we can say as human being in the daily life, in human life, there are so many matters relating to personal life, relating to universal points or the views. Here are poet very sad, in a pessimistic mood. Here, as the poet starts, the way a crow swooped down on me. And poet says that on the branch of the hemlock नामक ट्री। अब सबसे पहले यह भी जानना पड़ेगा आपको, इन अमेरिकन कल्चर, इन वेस्टर्न कल्चर, देयर इज ए ट्री, एक ट्री है जिसका नाम हेमलॉक। और हेमलॉक क्या है, क्यों जाना जाता है? पॉइजनस ट्री। यहां एक क्रो का प्रयोग किया, क्रो बैड ऑमेन, and poet says that the way a crow swooped down on me। कवि का कहने का आशय कि ब्रांच पर, हेमलॉक की ब्रांच पर बैठे हुए क्रो ने, कौवे ने उस हेमलॉक ट्री की शाखा को सूक हिलाया, और as soon as it was done, as soon as the movement of the crow, then what happens? The flake of ice, the particles of ice, there was the rain, we can say rain, छोटे छोटे बारिश के कणों की बर्फ के कणों की बारिश हुई, और ये आकर जब कवि के सिर पर गिरती है तो यहां जो आइस है ये फ्रेशनेस का प्रतीक है, ताजगी का प्रतीक है। एंड एज सून एज इट टचेस द डस्ट, हियर यहाँ डस्ट जो का, डस्ट मीन्स पार्टिकल्स, डस्ट मीन्स फ्लेक्स ऑफ आइस, स्मॉल पार्टिकल्स। स्नो फ्रेशनेस, जो ही उसके ऊपर गिरती है तो उसे ताजगी महसूस होती है। फ्रॉम अ हेमलॉक ट्री, कहां से गिरी? हेमलॉक ट्री से। ये एक प्रकृति के मॉर्निंग वातावरण को भी हमारे सामने प्रेजेंट करता है। कभी नेचुरल ग्लोरी स्कैटर्ड इन द नेचर हैज बीन हियर आल्सो हाईलाइटेड। एंड व्हाट does happen when in the morning the trees are iced, and at the rays of the sun then they start to fall down in small particles. The scenery and scene of such nature has been highlighted। ऐसा वातावरण कवि यहाँ उजागर करता है और कहता है हैज गिवन माई heart a change of mood. That means just before it happens, what happens, क्या हुआ, कव्वे के द्वारा हेमलॉक ट्री को जो ही हिलाया तो उस पर छाई बर्फ के कण, बर्फ छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों की बारिश जब कवि पर हुई और उसने टच किया तो उसमें ताजगी महसूस हुई. हैज गिवन माई हार्ट. हार्ट मीन्स फीलिंग्स. ही started to feel very new mood, a change of mood, and saved some part of a day I had rued. Here, rued means, here a second form of a rue. Rue means here sad one, a spoiled one. And that day means that morning's pleasure, the happiness due to his either personal or any other practical viewpoint. Poet was in not mood, happy mood. Means he was in sad mood. But what happened with the freshness of the snow, with the touch of the snow, poet found himself changed. Means his mood was refreshed with the touching of the snowfall. Here this poem's internal theme is, poet wants to teach probably that there is a song, there is a philosophical theme or the view of the writers, but poet wants to teach, as the earlier poets used to sing, though roses are beautiful. Here poet says, though roses are beautiful, but poet says a cactus may be more beautiful. Probably poet wants to teach something comes out from nothing and nothing may come out from something. That means an ordinary incident, a simple कोई भी घटना मनुष्य के जीवन में बड़ा परिवर्तन ला सकती है. ये कविता मूल रूप से टीच करती है. इस कविता में एक खूबसूरती स्ट्रक्चरल और देखेंगे हम तो आपको मिलेगा कि आपके जो स्टेंजाज है, ये रन 8 लाइन, 7 लाइन के बाद आपका 8 लाइन्स एंड देयर इज ए पीरियड. एक वर्ड में और आपको अप्लाई कर रहा हूं, पीरियड. पीरियड मीन्स इन लैंग्वेज, इन पोइट्री, ग्रामेटिकली स्टॉप. और हम देखते हैं कि यहां लास्ट में जाकर आपका स्टॉप मिला आपको. इसका मतलब है लाइन रन ऑन कहलाती है और ये भी कहलाती है एंजाममेंट इन लैंग्वेज. तो ये एंजाममेंट भी इसमें मिलता है. अब यदि हम आगे बात करते हैं, लिटरेरी फिगर्स की बात करेंगे तो हमारा जो क्रो सिंबॉलिक है, स्नो सिंबॉलिक है, हेमलॉक सिंबॉलिक है. क्रो जो कि अपने आप में ब्लैक कलर्ड और बैड ओमेन. हमारा हेमलॉक पॉइजनस जो कि डेथ का प्रतीक है. स्नो फ्रेशनेस का प्रतीक है. और हम इसमें और भी यदि कोशिश करते हैं लिटरेरी टर्म तलाशने की तो इसमें हम सिंपली इन सिंबॉलिकल वर्ड के साथ हम ये पाते हैं कि एंजाममेंट. और ये कविता यदि आप और बारीकी से कविता की थीमेटिक तरीके से करेंगे तो इसमें आप देखें एट लास्ट आई इस बात का स्टाम्प्ड है दैट इट इज a subjective, it is a personal and now it's a clear. और अब ये क्लियर हो जाता है कि कवि ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ हिज ओन पर्सनल मैटर was in sad mood. He was in griveness probably and found himself and teaches as later on William Wordsworth also taught in poetry, neither meter nor matter important. The way of presentation is very important. Here, Frost also proved in this poem. Frost also proved in this poem and says that nature is the main source. Nature is the head fountain of the happiness, as in Andrew Marvell's other poem, Thoughts in Garden. Such thematical viewpoint has been presented. मैं समझता हूं कि कविता का मूल बिंदु आप तक पहुंचा होगा, और एग्जाम की दृष्टि से जब हम क्वेश्चन करेंगे तो ये आपको लाइन टू लाइन, वर्ड टू वर्ड, वन आफ्टर अनदर जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, ये क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स बनेगी. आई थिंक इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल टू यू. विल मीट इन नेक्स्ट मीटिंग. थैंक यू टिल